welcome back to another episode of Woody's Podcast. I'm Woody right here. Right there's Mark.
How's it fucking going?
What up?
Oh, not much, yo.
You know, same old, same old.
Different setup.
Setup. So we're doing a whole different format, as you guys can see. And we're going to do videos from now on. Maybe some interviews, bringing in some local talent like we did last year.
Maybe even do it at shows, too.
Definitely do
Looking
it at
to
shows.
do that.
Definitely do it at shows. We had a great year last year. We had some amazing people coming into the studio.
Many.
We started off the year with Rick Savidio of Ascent to Power and Strong Arm Concerts. Sadly, we lost a good friend, Ed Keithan, over the last few months, and he was a very good friend of ours and
very heavily deep into the music scene as well.
Heavily
too,
deep
so
into the music scene.
Not just a loss for us, but for a lot of people
For everybody.
in a different way.
Yep.
But yeah, we were very, very close with him. So
Yep.
wish we would have been able to get him on that one, because it would have been nice to have it in the archive. You know, anytime you want to listen to something like that, you just go click play or something like that. So.
And we had Revision in. Those guys
Jay.
Are definitely making a name for themselves in the local scene. They just had a CD release party not long ago.
Which was amazing.
Yep, you get their CD right down at Bull Moose. Check them out. They're pretty good.
They're making waves.
I hear phones. Hold on. Sorry.
See, look, first time you do video, the guy can't even silence his damn phone. But they want me to not swear, which I already did in like 13 seconds of the video.
See what I'm saying? We're new to this whole video YouTubing thing, so bear with us. We're not sure of how many fucks we can say and whether we can actually give fucks. So
I never do. Never do.
If it need be, we'll, beep out all the beeps.
Yeah, mother beeps. Yeah,
You know?
Well,
so.
But yeah, no, we had all kinds of people. We had Ted Warner, we had Chris Mishu.
Yes,
Chris
from Uncle
Cates.
Jack.
You know, there was all kinds.
Yep, we had
Cuda.
Yep, we had Sound Guy. We had from Barracuda Productions. We had Cuda in, and that was a great show. We had Chris Cates, photographer extraordinaire. We had him in.
That was a fun one.
That was a fun one.
Different side of things, like, because we did a lot of bands and stuff like that, a lot of musicians. And then towards the middle of everything, we got into people that host big events, photographers, promoters. Yep. So it was weird because about halfway through you get to see the other side of everything.
Yeah, that was the whole idea. So you get both sides of what's going on. We have a really talented local scene that's out there, and we encourage everyone to go out and see them.
Definitely coming back. It dipped for a minute, but it's definitely coming back.
Yeah, well.
And talking to a lot of them, even they're staying busy. Even though we say a lot of times, like, oh, there ain't a lot of places to play, but it's just around here.
Yeah.
So at least they get to stay. A lot of them are going out of state,
which
is awesome, too, to hear that.
We had Dark Rain on the show.
They're always out of state.
And they are constantly out of state, or they're more coastal. They're up in the Bar Harbor area. They're up north more. But
they make the travel that a lot of bands don't want to make. So sometimes even if it is for a couple hundred, eventually you can turn that up into something else. So
yep. It's what it's all about. Especially when there's not, like it used to be, a lot of places to go. You have to make that sacrifice and travel to do that. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is nowadays.
Well, at the same time too, it's a whole event. So a lot of times if you want to go to good places, you're going to Bangor, you're going to Portland, around here at least having a good time. You ain't got to drive so far back so late, this and that. Some people do the naughty thing and drink and drive, but It's just, I don't know, something about playing in front of or going out to, in your area.
Yep.
It's different because everybody knows everybody. Even though you see a lot of the people out at these other places, don't get me wrong, but it's different, when you go to going or playing a hometown show.
Yep.
And a lot of the guys that we had on this year were absolutely from Lewiston and Auburn. Not many were from outside. Brunswick, maybe.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
As far as
on the outskirts a little bit.
As far as the bands all go, most everyone was pretty much from the local area. I think Dark Rain was the only one, they're out from Wiscasset, but Mishu's in the Topsom, Brunswick area, and I think Ted's living. I don't know where Ted's living these days, but I think it's a little ways away, somewhere out in the nowhere land.
So we've had a couple nice guys that made the trip up.
Yep.
Or down, either way you look at it.
Or across.
Or across.
All
the way.
We're in Maine. I mean, you can't get there from here, no matter where you're looking.
Yeah. If you went there, you're too far. So.
But unless you got lost on a mountain in Maine.
Yes, I did. No, but all in all, it was a good year. We had a few cancellations, on us on that. We got to fight through that, which was
I mean,
it was a test, but I think we went through it.
I mean, we kind of went overboard with booking up.
We knew where we went wrong
really quick. We got a lot of people. We didn't take in regards to holidays, so there was a couple of shows we had to cancel because of the holidays, and
trying to make those up and then still keep on schedule, and then editing and do it that added a lot. It happened the first week we had a nasty snowstorm, so nobody wanted to do it.
Yep.
And so the following time we did it, we had to do on Saturday and Sunday, which was fine. Just imagine if we had to do that, more often than we did. We did it a couple times. I have no issues doing it. I had a great time at all of the.
So basically, for next year, our content, like you said, is going to be mostly this. So we won't be having as many shows. We might put out a show once a month. But in that show, will be us sitting
unless there's
down.
a goodie happening. Or
Unless there's
a big
goodie
show.
Happening. But we're gonna go. We'll be out and about, getting footage of bands and probably doing more interviews out there, and then bringing it into here.
Give you content from all different angles.
All
live
different
at the
angles.
show. Talk to these guys fresh off the stage because I used to play, so I know how it feels after you go out there and you slam a good set out and then you walk off stage, and nothing builds them up better to show them dude, hey, I appreciate it. Can I get 5 minutes of your time?
Yep.
We've thought a lot of how we want to do things, and with the year and a half that we've done everything now, I mean, think about it. This is the first time we were on video because of it. It's taken us a year and a half to put our faces to the voices that we've been.
And really, nobody ever wants to see our face, but here they are.
Yeah, no, my mom always says I got a face for radio.
Yeah.
You don't want none of that now.
Yeah, when I was born, the doctor spanks your butt. Well, the nurse got a couple in on me too. So
give you a little 1-2, yeah.
You know what I mean? Fucking, yeah.
But there's a vision here. Hopefully, we can get more people aboard on this. I think it's going to be great. It's going to, like I said, it's nothing that you see around here in Maine.
Right.
I want to do something different, but I want to make sure that the bands that, I want them to get the recognition more than us. I just want to give them a platform.
Yeah.
To showcase their stuff, whether it be the Facebook page, whether it be the YouTube page, whether you go on Spotify and go listen to the I want that's why we always put the person that's it's just the way we work, name everything. I want everything about that whole thing to be about them.
Yep.
And whatever comes our way, I'll take it.
Well, it's all about the local scene. So
sometimes it just takes a little bit to to put on a portfolio. Just small thing, just anything to help out. Or if you got a show, put it on the page. We don't have. Hopefully, things are going to trend up with going on video.
Right, and it's also about the fans as well. I mean, obviously we're doing
We're doing this because we are fans.
the bands and everything like that, but it's local. So a lot of these bands that go out there and play, I mean, the local scene too, like you and me and Mark, we go out and support the local bands, and that's, you know, that gives them the drive to do what they do. And it's all about local. You know what I mean? So, you know, support your local bands, whichever it is. We all have our favorites, and you know,
You could, and the thing is, and I'm like, there's local bands in other states. If you go support them too,
Yeah.
you know, when they come up here, they're from Mass, New Hampshire, and stuff. You know, and they only got like one or two bands on from. Go support your buddies and your friends in those bands, but you know, make them want to come back.
yeah,
Because when you do that, things can get reciprocated the other way. You know,
Absolutely.
you know, say like, oh, these two bands, when we came up to Maine, they put on a hell of a show. Why? Let's bring that, like, you know, and then all of a sudden now you're playing in
Yeah.
Massachusetts.
well, like perfect example of back in the day with Uncle Jack and Godsmack. I mean, they used to
Swap back and forth.
back and forth. Godsmack would come up and open for Uncle Jack and do whatever, and
Yep.
Uncle Jack would go down there and do the same thing, and that's what it's about. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, Godsmack made it big, and Uncle Jack not so much. But Uncle Jack obviously is an underrated band.
Well,
in my opinion.
they're in New England. You know, popular in the New England area. So
Yep.
they Jack can book anywhere in New Hampshire. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
you know, even when they stopped being Jack and played in the cover bands and stuff, they were constantly booked down in New Hampshire. Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
So, it's Maine's had a lot of successful musicians come out. We have a lot of great producers.
Yep.
We have a lot of there's a lot of talent out here. We just don't get the recognition, and that's what we're hoping to bring to this, even if it's just a little bit, because I probably know people that you don't know, and then everybody. So it helps with the like and a share, right?
Absolutely. Speaking of that, I mean, feel free to subscribe. Hit the subscribe right down here.
We're gonna test it out. We'll test it out. See what we can come up with. All of a sudden, it's just gonna be a big finger point. Yeah, we'll test the water. See if we can't get that little link to pop up there.
We'll try that. And if you like this video, look, make sure you go to this one. I'm just kidding. But
Yeah, there's
definitely
not.
subscribe.
Yeah, but yeah, there's nothing up here.
There's nothing
It's
over
down
there.
here.
But this upcoming year, we're looking forward to that. We have some events that we're looking forward to possibly throwing together.
Yep.
Some birthday parties to attend, and
Like yours.
like mine, like Sean Cairns.
Yeah.
Got to attend that one. The Ambassadors, I believe it's in February.
If you can get
sometime late
if you can
February.
get your lineup, I'm
Well,
telling
that's
you.
what I'm hoping.
We're not gonna say no names and nothing
No,
like
we're
that.
not
'Cause-
going to say we
but-
weren't going to pull the trigger on that just
But
yet.
if you could get that lineup, that's probably one of the best local
It'll be a good
shows that would
time.
happen.
We got to
this
figure
year.
out where we want to have it, close enough for everybody to be able to
Once
attend.
again, local. I'm not saying Portland's not, but it's hard to get everybody in this area to travel up that way.
Yeah.
You know, some
Yeah.
of us don't have the luxury of got a whip and shit.
I think the
so.
furthest it'll be is Brunswick, if anything. But we're shooting for right here, a little more local in town.
Fucking Jay.
So, but yeah, we definitely
I was riding dirty, motherfucker.
hoping to as well team up with Strong Arm Concerts to
I'd love to work with him
do a couple of things with him.
or them because I still could, what I mean.
Yep, yep.
That's how. But
So
yeah, no, that'd be amazing. Servideo, he does a lot for the locals too. He's given a lot of bands, even mine, that didn't quite think okay, I should be playing with this kind of local, and then you jump on the bill and he's not one that's gonna shun you or this and that. He'll tell you straight right to your
Yep.
face, but in the music, you got to be prepared for that anyway. So. But that's the best guy to have in your corner. Hey, but you just didn't have it tonight.
Right.
And he'll tell you that. But he'll tell you, like, but we know you're good, just tonight wasn't the night. You know, not the night, Junior. But it'd be awesome to get a couple things going with them.
Yep. And we definitely want to bring you some in-house interviews, some sit-downs with some talented guys
Definitely,
and girls.
Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely bring back a couple of the former guests.
Yep, and some new ones.
Yeah, we already had a
some
repeat.
that we didn't
So
weren't able to catch last year. Maybe we can bring back and reschedule for this year.
that'd be awesome because there was a few that I was kind of bummed out about, but I mean, it is what it is. We can only do so much. So a lot of it was out of our control. A couple of them were ours, but it's hard to like reschedule because a lot of these guys. Hey, there he is. A lot of these guys very busy, so you know, and usually on Sunday that's relaxation day.
Yep.
So
we're hoping that, like I said, over the span of a month, we'll be able to sit down a few times and do this and go to, see a couple of shows and get some videos and interviews with bands and interviews with the fans that are at these shows as well. And get their side of it, and what brings them out and some traveling, meet some new people, meet some different bands. And I know that Mark and I have discussed a couple events we are looking to have for ourselves, sponsored by Woody's podcast, and hopefully be able to bring
a bunch of the local guys into it to make it happen.
Including
production
some
company,
video and
sound guys, photographer, like the real deal type thing. Just to give, if you can give them a little bit of a taste of what it feels like, it can go a long way.
Yep.
And I mean, I've gotten a little bit of it. It
tastes
tastes pretty good.
Everybody
so it's
puts
like
in their time, and sound guys and photographers and producers and promoters, and it's an all around thing. Even coming from the side where doing promoting, it's rough. I mean, you're booking shows and you're finding bands to fill these slots, and it's a non-stop thing. So
yep.
That part of it, and then
and then to actually make it happen is a whole nother thing, because then you have the whole time promoting it is a whole nother ball game.
It is.
It's how much do you want to put, because the more you promote, the better the better you get.
Yep.
You done the promotion thing. You understand, like, not every time you're gonna get the house full of people that you want. You're gonna take some losses. A lot of times you're gonna take some losses, but when you do get some of the big ones, it's worth it.
Yep.
And a lot of times when they do happen, you have your buddies and guys that you've met and have good relationships with, because they're like, okay, every time he puts on the show, there'll be something there. We'll still get a little bit either way.
Yep.
Big difference. When you're walking out empty-handed all the time.
Yeah, well, when it comes to that, it's all about a respect thing and how you treat it in the long run.
And any band member, sometimes every band has had it to where, they got shafted. They didn't make a whole lot. You give a bit, like you gave our band $25. We're like, oh shit, thanks for the gas, bud.
Yeah.
So we were always grateful with any money that we ever made, because we played a lot of shows for free, because we did it. Everyone's like, oh, for the exposure, but no, we did it because we like to play.
Yep.
And yeah, you get exposure with it, but
I mean, it's a long,
we just hadn't
long road if to get where a
some
lot
of
of
these
these
guys,
bands want to be. You know what I mean?
but we've had a few guys on this show that have done that.
Yeah, that have toured with some big time bands and been teetering on the brink of stardom
or funding their own tours.
Right.
With like Lions and stuff.
Yep.
Like we got that perspective of what it's like to actually front the bill for the tour because you want to go, and the only way you're going to make it happen is if you put the money up.
Right.
And hopefully you get paid at these stops, you know. But that's why you also go down there with. You don't start oh yeah, we got $200, and then by the time you get there, you're like, we got $50 left, and hopefully they pay us.
Right.
Because sometimes you might not get it. Most
Right. You need
like they
gas
said,
money and food to feed the band to get to the next gig.
like they said, they were really lucky that everybody honored, but and that makes it for a good experience, and you want to do it again.
Yep.
And this time you can hit the same spots, but now there's different spots because you've already played here in this area, so you can go and be like, oh yeah, well we played down here last year, and
I do know.
But then you do it, but it's all yourself.
Yeah.
Which is even better.
Which gives you that.
Which is most main band right now. They're all not self-produced, but damn near.
Well,
they're all foot in the.
It makes
they don't
you
have
more proud of the band you're in, what you've achieved when you achieve something because
right.
you've done it all yourself.
Don't get me wrong. It'd be nice to be like, oh, here you go record something, but at the same time when you do a project and you've paid for the studio time, you paid for the artwork on the cover, you paid for all the copies to be made, you paid, and finally when it gets put together, that's a huge accomplishment. A lot of the guys we had on this year got to experience that either this year or have before, but some of these guys put out a new CD this year.
Yep.
Might not have been their debut or whatever, but there was a lot of. Trawl released one this year. Alliance released one this year. Revision did. There was a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
So this year was a good
Chris
year for a
Mishu
lot.
and
Yeah.
Scott Labby released their new thing.
Yep. Yeah, they have a bunch of solo and shit that they did together.
So I mean, you're right. There has been a lot of
old bands getting back together. That stuff which is usually a common thing. Every so often you'll get.
Yep.
The one-offs, which I hope that we are able to do, when you see that band that hasn't been around in a minute, those are the ones that I really want to go to this year, get footage and get that on, because probably those ones you'll never see again.
Well, you won't see them for a while, you know what I mean? And that would be like
Because
Jack, that would
right,
be like
'cause
Beyond the Fall.
Because you just don't want to bank on.
Season was to do a reunion thing.
Because you just don't want to bank on. Oh yeah, well we'll be doing this in 5 years when they decide to play again. Well, most of the guys of some of these bands are not even going to be here, or they are going to be at the age where it's probably like, yeah, we're just going to hang this on that
Hang
hook.
it up. I can be done with it.
Yeah, they've had the success that they've and a lot of the bands you just mentioned had great success.
Yeah, yeah.
We've had bands on here, got people promote. Everybody has started from somewhere, and they all said the same thing. You have to you got to work at it.
Yep.
And in the beginning, I was just as guilty. I could learn things, but I'd learn it halfway, and then just try to learn the rest of it on my, and then, playing original, it's a lot of work. Playing originals, trying to learn somebody else's material, stuff like that. It's a lot of work. So and the bands that have made it have put in the work and the money.
Yeah.
Because it does help if you can, get ads on the radio and stuff like that, and get people and companies to help push your stuff, especially at the venues you're playing, because they have their following too.
Oh yes.
So, I've noticed back when I was playing, a lot of the venues wouldn't make a flyer. They wouldn't promote. The only thing they would do was share the flyer that the promoter that booked the show made, which is fine.
Yep.
But they'd post it once.
Yeah.
Or twice, and everything else is buried in between tacos and all this shit, all the food
I
that they
love
serve.
tacos.
Well, yeah, me too. But I like metal music. I like metal music and tacos. So I'd like to know when there's metal music so I can go eat
And a lot of
tacos
these
to
bands
it.
now too have a lot of merch. So support, buy a T-shirt, buy a hat,
And all
buy
that,
a
and a lot of that
sweatshirt.
stuff is these guys work 9 to 5s.
Yep.
Some of them work 11
so
to
when
3s.
they get their merch, that's all
but-
out of pocket. So you want support.
That's even with the big bands, the merch is where you really support them.
Yep.
So, and not only that, how badass do you look when you walk around? Look at my Revision
Yeah,
T-shirt.
man.
You
My
know?
Revision sweatshirt.
That I don't got because Jay told me they had some, but they didn't have some.
Jay, he just threw you under the bus.
Sure did.
This guy.
Yeah, but On his behalf, we did buy 2 T-shirts.
Yeah.
One gray, one black.
I got to get one.
Should have got it signed
I'm
by
gonna
the
get
drumming
one.
extraordinaire of J.P. Smith.
I
but,
think
you
that's.
know.
I was gonna buy one at Mixers, and you didn't have any sweatshirts at Mixers. I wanted a sweatshirt. I didn't buy a T-shirt. I apologize. I'll get a sweatshirt next time.
I love that fucking guy. that dude, he's the reason why. Like I've watched that band since they were just in the basement at Cave Dude's house.
They've been around for a while.
They have. So a lot of these, like a lot of the stuff I've been around for, and when I watch Jay, I see Rick. So, like that dude. I could be
drummer.
so fucking pissed at that dude, and I guarantee you I go watch him play just to shut my eyes and be like, hey. But, because I used to, when we practiced after, these two would just jump on the goddamn drum set and just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So,
Drum off.
I say Jay learned a lot from Rick, but Rick learned a lot from Jay because they had 2 different styles. They hit heavy. They play with the same aggression, but their styles are different. But it's all right because when you put it all together, it sounds the fucking same.
Sick.
The drum sets are set up a little bit differently, but they're identical, just their style of play is different.
Yeah.
Rick was more like old school drumming with how he set the toms up and his snare and everything, and Jay, he has them more flat instead of angled up and stuff like that. He still smashes through the rolls and stuff, but styles differently, but they play with the same aggression, authority, no T-shirt, stuff like that.
Yep.
So
Yep. When the shirt comes off,
Shit got real,
serious
yeah.
fucking business.
serious business.
Minute.
Nope, but we got, we did go out to a couple. We went to Dave's party. That was cool. We got to check out some of the bands that we normally wouldn't have seen. Ponder.
Yep.
It was cool to catch up with Fifth Freedom.
Yep.
Love those
that
dudes.
was cool. I haven't seen Fifth Freedom in a while.
Yeah.
And got to see Loki. I'm a huge fan of Loki. I like Loki.
Yeah, we got to see them. Ponder. Yep. There was a couple others. I mean, unfortunately, we did leave because it was friggin' hot that day.
We got there early and we stayed late in the afternoon, and it was hot all afternoon.
Yep.
So
Gatorade and food
we
didn't help
apologize to those bands that we didn't get to see later on, but this year we'll be attending Dave's party again, and
this year we're gonna do it different. I mean, support I support for the early birds too, because a lot of these guys are worth it.
Yep.
But this year we will definitely come towards the later part of the night.
Yep.
But it'll be different. We'll have a lot more everything we've talked about with the interviews and the video.
Yeah.
A lot of, and it's gonna be a lot of up close video because
and in case I have to work that day, I get out at 4, so if we got there by 6 o'clock,
you still get 3-4 bands.
Yep. And
just like any show, the later the night, the more heavier the hitter that happens.
Actually, not to take away from any bands that play during the day, but obviously, the heavier hitters,
Even though the guys that played in the beginning were great, I mean, Fifth Freedom, they did it because of timing situation. I'm sure they would have played later.
Yeah.
I know Dark Reign switched with Loki. That's why you got lucky to see them.
Yep.
But it was an example of everybody working with everybody and changing things. So because certain people couldn't get there till this time.
Exactly.
So, but
by the time we get there, we'll have missed all the food and all that good stuff. So.
You can always tell.
There might be some scrounging still left around, but
like Dave Kelly's put just like a hamburger and a hot dog to the side.
He may not even have food this year.
He may not even have it.
No, I
think he
asked him,
will.
I asked him about it because I wanted to make sure I wasn't conflicting my birthday party with his party, and he hadn't set a date yet for his party, but now he knows when my birthday party is.
So he'll go around that.
Yep.
The
last year he didn't have it till August. Well, when did he have it last year? It was July or something.
Yeah, it was towards the end.
Yeah.
It was, but he does a great job, and I was happy to see him downsize it a little bit, so he wasn't so stressed out. And he could enjoy it.
He definitely enjoyed it more.
You know, walking around talking to the people instead of back and forth,
Yep.
doing all this.
Well,
But he
since
loved doing
retired,
it.
he didn't have the pigs. He didn't have half the food he usually has.
There's no need.
And yeah, he was
Everybody-
definitely more relaxed. He definitely got to enjoy it more. Patty definitely enjoyed it more.
And that's huge for them because they've put it on for so many years and haven't really got to experience what that event is all about because that's to give back to his customers.
Yep.
You know, customer appreciation party, but now he does it because he wants to keep it going.
Yep.
Like, you know,
And it's just a 1-day event now. It's not 3.
there's no
camping. There's no Friday night. Saturday, that's it.
Yep. When you're done, you're done. Carry
Yep,
on.
gone. See ya.
But he also, you know, I'm sure if you tie one on, you'll be able to sleep in your car. So.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he didn't care about that. Pass out in the car.
But yeah, there's nobody fucking
sober
camping all over the yard.
He would
and
feel.
shit.
I'm sure he would feel better about you passing out in the car than driving home drunk.
So, but a lot of the times that I've been there, very respectful to his property because I mean, shit, the thing's right underneath his fucking porch. You know? Like-
Yeah, he opens up his pool to everybody, you know, and he lets kids there.
Yep.
So
They do good.
They're very open and welcoming to everybody.
He
And
had-
the only things he says is, leave your guns at home and leave your bad attitudes. Otherwise than that, come on over.
There was no bad attitudes. There was a couple hammered people though.
There's always hammered people.
No, like when you show up to it hammered type shit. But we also, you know, we went out to the cage this year. That was fun.
Yep, and we got to see Paradise is Canceled and
Lions played.
Lions played. Yep, we got
There
to
was
see
a couple
them.
other bands. That was awesome too.
Yep.
I mean, there's
Yep.
so much music in the state. You just got to know where to find it. It sucks. I wish there was more of a bigger platform for things to get pushed because there's a lot of these venues that are good hosting venues. Just
Yeah, and we're definitely gonna go out and bring more of this to you, you know, so you guys can see what's out there and introduce yourself to the bands and make a decision on your own who you might want to go out and see. And just a reminder, click that subscribe button. Don't forget.
don't click up here though.
No, not this one or that one.
This one.
This one right here.
Thank you. Yep.
That's fucking funny.
No, this is cool. You know, finally get the video going. It's been a long time coming, so
Yep.
this is pretty sweet.
I hope that the
The aura of the place
surroundings are
to your likings.
yes, and we bring to you the refreshments of this green can.
That won't be named. Figure it out yourselves. Yeah, way to turn it. Gotta censor yourself before you get censored yourself.
Yeah, we're new to this. We're not sure the YouTube content and things that we can and can't do. I'm sure we'll find out soon enough.
But at least we're not sitting outside in a public park drinking, smoking a cigarette for 45 minutes.
I know. I mean, listen, I've seen some YouTubers that do some insane stuff. So this is pretty normal.
This is mild, actually, compared to what we have on Spotify.
I mean, listen, we might say some pretty outlandish things at times. We might be like, but we'll try not to offend you. I can't make any promises because if you know me, you know me. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, pretty much. There's nothing malicious here. All with good intent.
All with good intent.
That's all we gotta say, right?
That's it.
Right, YouTube? With all with good. You good?
We're never gonna get into politics or religion.
So you gotta worry about that, yeah.
Never have to worry about that. We're just gonna talk about local music,
Photography.
photography,
Local
promoting.
music, local photography.
Listen, we'll talk about pubs and clubs and
when they start popping up. But you got sliders that's hopping off. You know,
Yep.
that seems like a really good
We're gonna
place for
probably
people
have
to start.
to slide in the sliders. See what I did there?
Yeah, you know.
We might smoke a little bit of marijuana on camera.
Oh, okay.
So
Cat's out of the bag now.
I hope that won't offend anybody. It's legal in Maine.
I'm
so
over 21.
It's what we do. We live in Maine, in the woods. We drink, smoke, fuck,
And fight.
and fight.
That about sums it up, boy.
We hunt too. We love our guns. We love our weed. We love our beer. And we love our women.
Fucking Allens. Love our Allens.
Well, females do usually. And fat ass in a glass is what it's like to be called.
I can't drink any. When I did, I can't drink anything that was milk based or anything that had it. Ugh, couldn't do it. Even though, like, growing up, I always thought my grandparents. I'm like, man, they drink a lot of fucking chocolate milk. You know, that shit smells different, but maybe it's Ovaltine. You know, see what I did there?
I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we're smoking marijuana. We're doing it on screen in front of you right now.
All one of you. Or...
Sorry, Ma. If you're watching right now, I'm sorry. I'm smoking the pot.
Sorry, ma. Can't do it. Nah. It'll be interesting to see how everything goes, though. I'm excited for the journey we'll have this year.
I am too.
We
brother.
also got this cool fucking sound guy that nobody can see that, you know, has come along that has done tremendous with learning new programs and switchboards and everything. Like, everything you see that's produced after me and Brian just talking is all that guy. So eventually we'll get him on camera. You know, we'll have to get it. But
eventually we'll have him sit down with us, and we'll you know, shoot the shit. Talk to Jay, because he's got experiences too. Local musician himself.
He also does. He's got TikToks, and you know, he's a phenomenal guitar player. So it'd be cool to talk to him as well. He's got a bunch of stories, I'm sure.
Yeah, make sure you look for him on TikTok. Here's his link right here.
Not over here. Or down here. Where was it, Brian?
Over here, over here.
No, it was up here.
Over there.
Wherever it pops up, it's right there. Better put that shit in, Jay. Don't make us look like liars. I won't stay.
Don't make us look like a bunch of schmucks here. Nah. No, it's fucking awesome.
But it's helped having him around, and he's always been a good friend of ours.
Yep.
You know,
we played in bands with him, the three of us. So yeah,
we've watched him do a bunch of
definitely a good friend.
You know, he played in another band with some good friends of ours too. They did a great job for the run that they had. You know, yeah, Jay, you want some? Just because we're on camera don't mean shit. Yeah, no, yeah, a little bit out here. Come on. Come on. One of these days we're going to get him. It'll be just enough. See, this is what happens when you smoke marijuana.
Yep.
Oh,
almost.
Shit. Touchdown. I never hit the ground. Never touched the ground.
Never touched the ground.
Never touched the ground.
Yep, so we're definitely looking forward to this. Next step in the journey. This is our third season. And it's going to be fun.
It's different. It's got this whole like we got a whole new. If you know, they never got to see, but if they actually saw what we had, you know, when we were putting everything out on Spotify before we switched to YouTube. You know,
this is definitely way better and way more relaxed and kick back, and
you know, we're not sitting behind a desk that's all cluttered behind boards and wires.
This is kind of the mood I wanted. I wanted it to be us just sitting here
talking shooting the shit, smoking
about you know, the bands that we've gone to see, and we'll throw out bands that are playing in certain places, maybe places you might be able to run into us at different shows or something like that as the year progresses. Because there are a lot of good shows come summertime.
Oh,
You have Herd Flock, and there's Dave's Party. There's a lot of good shows that are out there that we'll be attending. So,
and a lot of those are for good causes too. You know, Herd Flock is
and Herd Flock's a 3-day event, right?
2 or 3 at least. I think it
It's
is 3.
camping. I mean, there's vendors there, and there's some of the hardest bands in the state.
Some of the best metal the state's got to offer.
That's right.
Plays
If
there.
you want some definite face ripping, great people,
Yep.
some great vendors with some good food. You can get tattoos. You can buy merch.
There's all kinds of shit that
Everything.
happens there.
Make sure you don't check out Herd Flock, because that is another great event that happens every year.
Damn near rain or shine too, because it was
Pretty
pouring
much.
this year when they started it. It was pretty wet. Remember, because we talking to Chris Cates?
Yep.
Because the week after that happened, he was there. He came to us. Yeah, and he was even saying that, yeah, it was pretty friggin' wet. So, I mean,
I was trying to get it over all the equipment.
It goes. Yeah, what's crazy is they don't see like the laboratory this guy's got.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah, right. And having to learn everything.
In a short period of time, because like I went crazy on getting shit from
Between
from
programs.
lights and programs and cameras, and then we needed to have the right cords for the cameras, and and we're still building. I still have a camera that we haven't got hooked up yet.
So from different angles, maybe.
This is just kind of a sit down to show our appreciation to those that came on last year's show.
And the year before that, because we never
The year
had
before
videos.
that.
So for the last year and a half, everybody that's been a part of this, including, pretty much right up to the last show that we had, dude. It's, I thank every one of them. Every single one.
Every
of them.
single
'Cause,
one, dude.
Yeah, we can do this all the time, but to have another person sitting here giving you their opinions and their views and their stories, that's where it's at.
Yep.
And then playing, and then dropping links and stuff like that, so we can push their music just on, Facebook and every
Absolutely.
platform, because I love doing Spotify. The programming sucks, but it's just, I don't know. YouTube. I feel we can help the community out more on YouTube. It's probably harder to grow on YouTube and everything, but I think we're good. And we'll have a lot of
The
fun
cat
doing
just
it.
moved the camera too.
I think we good.
Stupid feline.
See, but that's why we have Jay.
So we might lose a little bit of that. Doesn't matter.
I'm good. We're good, dude.
You don't want to see him anyway.
Who wants to see me? Not me, dude.
I look at me every day.
And I think, God dang.
That day,
What an ugly motherfucker you is.
I look at me, I'm like, I'm too sexy for this camera. Too sexy for this camera. Too sexy for... Anyway.
I think we should sign off now. We don't, pretty much just pay attention to the page, and please, subscribe to the YouTube page. And
Definitely like and subscribe, share, tell everybody. Like I said, we're gonna have fun this year with it. We're gonna be out and about everywhere, so we'll throw out different events that we may be at and different bands that are playing in different places.
you run into me, I might give you a fucking sticker.
Yeah, we
I might
might
give
have
you a
some
sticker.
stickers.
Yeah.
And we might even do an interview with you. Who knows? If you want to be on camera and you don't mind it, you want to talk, we'll talk
Yeah.
with you.
If you got a face for radio, get your ass over here.
Yo.
We'll put you right in that seat that over there that nobody can see.
Yep.
And
like I said, we're working on getting more cameras going, and we'll have cameras with us out and about. We got cameras for that, and
Everything's all flowing together.
everything's coming together nicely.
We're pretty much down to just really needing cords. Certain, HDMI's to micros and stuff. Like
Yep.
just all the random shit that you never thought, like, well, and then the piece that, I got the plug-in, but I have to have, so that's where we're at.
It's not like the old days where, you could plug in one cord for everything, plug and plays. It's not like that anymore.
I mean, right down to the, you had very nice wireless microphones. You switch those out. Like, just how easy was that? Everything's so easy now.
Yep.
Except for the software to learn how to do this,
Before
right, Jay?
we had our wireless mics. We were sitting at tables behind the desks, so we had
No cameras.
no cameras. So we had the wireless mics things going on. Now
Basic knowledge of
we have
how to run everything.
we have these nice clip-ons. I'm making static. Now we have these nice little clip-ons that are beautiful.
I know, better than holding the mic, because either way, like, yeah, Jay, good thing you caught that. But, because a lot of them, like, when you talk into those mics, though, they're not talking into the actual, like, speaker part or the microphone part of the actual mic, because they're usually talking on top, or, like, because it's only one way. You can't do it.
Yep, it's true. If you listen to a lot of the shows that we had last year, a lot of our guests would be away from the microphone, sit back in their chair, because we had started in the beginning. I had different mics. I had boom mics,
Which were cool.
They were cool, except for the fact that, like I said, the guests would back away from the mic and you couldn't hear them as well.
Because they want to sit like this.
Right,
so.
they want to relax, sit and relax. And once they pulled back from the microphone, you couldn't hear them as well. Then I got the other mics where you could, literally hold them in your hand because they were cordless. And those were great, but we only had them for a couple of shows. So then I invested in these clip-on cordless mics, which are better because now we can just sit here and talk and not have to worry about holding a mic in front of your face. Or
I always see, like, well, they always had that middle, too. Like, everybody, they don't shut them off. Batteries died like a bitch in those, too. So it's going to be fun. It'll be a good time. Year's not quite, we're not booking like we did last year. So, like, we're, to me, I'm rolling it 3 months at a time, baby.
yeah, it's a casual booking this year. We're just going to go with the flow.
Check the holidays, damn it.
Maybe every couple of months we might have a sit down with someone, but we're definitely looking at putting some content out there once a month.
That's other than us just talking.
Right. I mean, it'll be us talking, but there'll also be videos of where we've been and interviews of who we're with.
And we do have a bunch of, in the archive of things we can pull. Now that they're actually loaded on the page, just, we can pull them and actually deep dive into their sets.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Look at some of the videos that we do have out there.
There's not many, but there's enough there to keep you entertained for about, 17 minutes.
And, what we'll do is, besides showing you clips of the videos places that we've been, we'll also put up full sets of these same clips.
Yeah, because we've clipped a lot of live sets.
Right.
So.
'Cause we'll be just showing clips of the bands that we've seen and talking about them. And then we'll also have the clips of that full set, or at least a couple of their full songs. Maybe not the whole set, but a couple of songs of all the bands that maybe played that night. And those will be up on our YouTube as well. So you'll be able to see that. Click the subscribe.
That's going to be a thing now. And then we move it over here.
I'm gonna have to get a sign or something to put behind that says click that button right there.
Nah, this will be fun.
It is gonna be
the
fun.
whole video aspect.
I'm having fun right now.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. You have
Like-
you have to have fun doing it because we learned towards the end of everything last year where, like I said, we had to cancel some, they had to cancel some, so there was a point where it was kind of dead, and even you thought there was like, hope you're still interested. It's like, no, just roll with the punches, dude. Like I enjoy doing this, so because obviously we're not doing it for fame or money. We're not
Right.
huge.
No.
Our Facebook's only got 300 and something. Like we just started YouTube. We're not big for nothing.
No.
So I appreciate anybody that wants to, because they're giving us a chance too.
Basically, it's just to showcase local bands, and obviously, the more subscribers we have helps us out as well.
But benefits them.
It benefits the bands because it just sees that you're watching the content that we're putting out there. You're watching the bands that we're bringing you. That's the whole idea behind what we're doing. Not everyone can get out there to see the band, and a lot of times.
But if you get a chance to see it, maybe you'll make it more of a point to go out
That's
next
right.
time. Be like, oh, those guys were pretty good.
Well, I
on a
never
video."
heard of this band before. Maybe I don't want to go see them, but now you saw a clip of them, and you're like,
Let me give that a shot.
yeah, I'll go see them guys. And I will say that for one thing, Loki is a good band. Really puts on a great show. Paradise is canceled. Same thing. Them guys
They rock. They're really good.
are real good.
Revision's phenomenal.
Revision's good. Alliance is good.
Midnight Possession's awesome. I actually went to see them at their CD release at Mixers this
Troll is really good.
year. There's a lot of good local.
There are a lot of good local bands.
And not just metal and hard rock either. There's a lot of other. I'm not too into it, which I'm hoping that's another thing I'd like to get more than just the metal scene
Yep.
around here. So that I got freshen up on that myself.
Well,
but
it's all local, so yeah, you're right. It's not just the metal scene, because there
it's
are
just that it's huge out
country
here.
bands that are out there.
But
There are
exactly.
a lot of cover bands that are out there, and really the cover bands, and that's where you start, because you got to play them cover songs, and you'll throw in a few of your own little songs, your
And
originals.
you can judge the crowd on the
That
crowd
was
reaction.
that's how Uncle Jack started.
Yeah.
They played
Playing
a lot
venues
of
that
covers.
playing venues you're not allowed to play your own at,
Yep.
but they don't. Well, most people don't know. There's
You
a lot of
play,
songs that you don't know anyway.
You say you got a set list. You're playing three 45-minute sets, right? So you let's say you got 7 or 10 songs in that set list, and 3 out of the 10 are your own originals. Yeah, no one's gonna fucking know, but you're playing your originals, so.
Eventually, and then when they see you out, they're like, "Oh, I know that song."
Shit, dude, by the time they put out their first album, their first CD, everybody knew all their songs because they had played them all out for years and years.
As a cover band.
Yeah, as a cover band. So that's what it's all about. So get it done, saying.
No, I'm saying.
Yeah, do we have another half of one in there?
We sure do.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Let's get it, son. 5-5.
Yes, sir. How long we taking this train for?
I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, let us know in the comments for sure if you're going to comment on it. Definitely give us your input on
They'd be like,
what
"Shut
you
up."
think. You know what I mean?
They'd be
Like,
don't breathe.
should we limit our show to an hour, or should we just go on till we decide we've had enough?
Well, I can tell you from the experiences we had this year, there's some guys that come on here, you got to give them the time because their stories are fucking epic.
It's true. Like,
There's a lot of them that we went this year with like an hour and 10, but there's a couple guys that we went that were like an hour and 30, hour and 40.
yeah, and we had to cut them off.
and still had to cut them off because
Yeah.
it was just so. Oh, look, kitty.
There's Lucille. I don't know if anyone can see her.
It's all right.
Good, because she's in heat.
But, I mean,
Probably smells your male cat,
probably.
because cats don't give a shit.
Nope. But the stories,
Anyway.
the stories though, like, we've debunked myths this year, dude. You know, the Uncle Jack myth.
Yep.
We debunked that. You know, we put a lot of things to rest because we had the balls to ask.
Yeah, man. That's what it's up. That's what it's up.
You know, like I ask everybody, like, what's your worst tour story? What's your worst like gig story? What's your best one? You know, because some of those, like, the things that they say.
Yep.
You know, because they look at it differently than I do. Even though I used to play, I still viewed me being on stage probably differently than these guys, other than I'm a fucking rock star.
And some of them had some horror stories about it.
Some of them, like, you couldn't name names and this and that, and venues. You know, the goods.
Yep.
And then some stories could come out because people had passed on, and it was a good time. Like a lot of history with music in an era like I was alive in. You know, growing up around Uncle Jack, but I was too young to go to those shows.
Yeah.
So you know, I was lucky to get into a couple. You know, but to hear the stories though, it's like, you know, I could think back because I was like, yeah, I wasn't
Listen, if again, and sitting with Chris and sitting with Ted, and,
I'm sure that brought back
and
shit.
talking about things that we did. We could do that again and sit down and probably tell so many stories about so many different shows just from the day.
Yeah,
like-
shutting bars down because of fucking
Shutting ba-
riots and shit.
Yeah, that was a good night.
But it was cool. You know, I'm sure it was cool to, you know, reminisce with them. You know, I had a couple of my buddies on this year too that it felt good to talk about
Dude,
times that you don't forget about, but
I was only
just
like
not like-
25, 26 years old at the time, so I was fucking full of piss and vinegar, and we were just all over the fucking map, bro. You know,
yeah.
because like I didn't really settle down and take a deep breath until Mariah was born.
30, right?
30 years old, and that's when I got married and kind of
I had to simmer it down, boy.
a little bit, you know.
I mean, still fuck you up if you got to, but you're not out looking for the next fight like you was back then.
Well, only because I was raising a daughter and trying to have a family, so I wasn't out at the bars every night.
Well,
I wasn't
that's
doing
the
that.
point, though. That's why the train lost some steam.
It
But
did.
every now and
now
then-
it's all broke the fuck down.
Yeah. You're still running fucking coal, fucking steam.
Listen, how's the old fucking Toby Keith song go?
Oh, fuck.
I still have another one in me, motherfucker.
I don't think that's what it is. Motherfucker. If he wrote that song, man.
I may be broke down, but if I had to, I'd kick ass.
Carry it out. But anyway,
I digress.
I was just about to say that. I digress from my point. We'll wrap this up. We're excited for everything. We're happy for everything that we've been, that we've gotten to do in the past year and a half. So big thank you to everybody.
Yes,
even though
huge thank
even
you
if
to
we didn't
everybody.
mention your name tonight, in
If
a year,
you-
in a
if
year and a
you were
half,
on
there was
the
a lot
show-
of fucking people.
If you were on the show last year and you made contact with us in any kind of way, we fucking appreciate you. And we hope to
Like
fucking
and subscribe.
like and subscribe. Yeah, and definitely leave some content, leave some comments, suggestions. If your band's playing somewhere and you want to see us show up, leave it in the comment. We'll respond to it as much as we can.
If
to
we can, we'll
everybody.
come out. We'll do what we can.
Yep. We'll show our appreciation.
But other than that, take us away, Brian.
Until the next one, tune in, tune out.
Podcast, listen free. Join the fun, come and see. Every episode a blast. Hold on tight, it's moving fast. Click the link, it hits the jokes and all the cheer, bringing joy every year.